My name is Kit Andrews, and I'm here to explode the myth with reference to the nutrition in your food. And I would like to ask you, what do you expect from your food today? Do you expect something that is very nutritious and tastes good to eat? Or do you expect something that looks good wrapped in cellophane on a polystyrene tray on a supermarket shelf? Or is it the price? Is that the thing that is the overriding factor that determines what you buy? Well, if somebody offered you a cut price car, your automatic reaction would be, what's wrong with it? The answer is to identify and purchase the highest quality food that your body is craving for. If you are a grower, the answer is to work with the soil. And if you're a housewife, it's to buy the best possible food that you can buy. Or if you're a stock rearer, to raise your stock on the best possible ground that you can possibly get. I'm not sure whether you are aware, but the nutritional value of the soil that the crops are grown in is depleted by 76%. In the USA, it's even worse, anything up to 82%. The purpose of this DVD is to empower you with the ability to make the wisest choice about the very substance of life. Food, or real food, is grown on rich fertile soil. Removing crop after crop, year after year, depletes the mineralisation in the soil. The reason why the mineralisation has been removed from the soil is through intensive farming. So you would say, well, why do we intensive farm? It's to meet with the demand. And it's the demand from the consumer, who passes that demand on to the supermarkets, who passes the demand on to the farmers. And to meet that demand, the farmers are constantly producing more and more food and taking the essential minerals and nutrients out of the soil without it ever being replaced. What they are doing is they are firing NPKs, or nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fertilisers onto the ground. Now all that does is produce lush green growth, but it doesn't have the mineral content in it that it should. The farmers will spray the fields anything up to 17 times with anything up to 400 different chemicals a year, or should I say in a growing season. And with all those chemicals fired onto the ground, the plants take up those chemicals and we ingest the residuals of that. And it has been estimated that we actually consume 2 litres a year of insecticides, pesticides, fungicides and herbicides. Now if I offered you a beakerful of this fluid, you would turn it down, but you would readily consume it on your food. Also, what is this cocktail of chemicals doing to us? There's a wealth of information out there on the internet, and if we could be bothered to look on the internet to find out what this chemical is, or what that chemical is, or whatever, we would really be shocked. We would be so aghast at what we're ingesting, we would actually do something about it. Good soil needs to be constantly ploughed. Every year it needs to be ploughed. It needs to have manure, good manure, fired into the ground and ploughed in, so that it encourages a rich diversity of microbial life, like worms and centipedes and beetles and the like. Did you realise that one worm, one earthworm, can turn over 8 square yards of soil in a year? That aerates the ground, so that our plants have a better chance of growing. Experts in the field of nutrition still believe the old wives' tale is true, that eating your greens will keep you healthy and keep you strong. There's been suggested links between eating such vegetables as beetroot, tomatoes and broccoli and the protection against cancer. They're classified as super antioxidants, and they gather up the free radicals that roam around our body that are cancer-forming agents. Ingredients in broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage, as I said, are known as super antioxidants, and they enhance the rate at which repairs are carried out to our cells. What on earth has happened? 2.3 million people in the UK with clinical depression. 66% of strokes are due to high blood pressure. Could it be all due to the pesticides and the insecticides and the herbicides and fungicides that have been used in gay abandon over the last 40 or 50 years, since about the mid-50s, so the farmers could receive associated better yield per acre for the crop? Could it be the overuse of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, the NPK chemical fertilisers, causing a chemical imbalance in our soils, the life force behind our very existence? The sad, even alarming fact is that most fresh foods, organic or otherwise, no longer taste of much at all. Many crops have been deliberately harvested while underripe twixt their supermarket shelf life. There's been a dramatic shift in the way our produce has been grown over the past 5 decades, and consequently it has taken the very essence, the nutrients and the trace elements that once supported our immune system and promoted good health. We are all eating foods that have been stripped of the antioxidants, trace elements, fatty acids and essential sugars that once promoted good health. Is it any wonder our body's maintenance systems are broken down? 1 in 3 of us will develop cancer. Half the population is likely to suffer from heart disease during their lifetime. And 1/3 of the population will develop an allergy. Could food really be responsible for the health catastrophe that has overtaken the Western world? The topsoil's fine structure, which allows water and air to pass through its top layers, has disappeared. The myriad of essential creatures such as earthworms have suffocated. The only way plants can be persuaded to grow here now is with a constant stream of pesticides, insecticides, herbicides and chemical fertilisers. How often have you been told to eat 5 portions of fruit or veg a day? What's the point? With its nutritional value reduced by anything up to 75%. 5 pieces of veg a day would be very commendable if all of its trace elements, minerals and vitamins were present. Otherwise, eat whatever takes your fancy and top up on a few supplement pills and a spoonful of cod liver oil. Because of the poor quality of the grass that our livestock are constantly grazing on, they too are suffering from malnutrition. They're not getting the required soluble fats and amino acids that are required for a healthy lifestyle. Consequently, their immune systems are breaking down. Also, we've been brainwashed to associate sweet taste with unhealthy processed food and confectionery. But in nature, sweetness has long been associated with strength and vitality. It is often linked to a rich source of essential trace elements such as zinc, magnesium, copper, boron. The human body was created to thrive on 8 essential sugars. Most of us operate on only 6, so straight away there's a sugar imbalance. Sugar content in fruit and veg also correlates with a range of valuable glyconutrients such as amino acids, proteins and phytonutrients. The right balance of all these minerals and trace elements are required in our soils to support good healthy plants and ultimately to support good healthy people. This will in turn be less of a drain on our National Health Service. Oh, there you have it. It's food for thought, isn't it? How often have you heard your mother say to you, "Don't forget to eat your greens"? Well, there would be plenty of mileage in that, providing that the nutrients were in the plant for us to ingest. And also, going back a stage further, if the nutrients were in the soil for the plants to take up in the first place. In the United States, the government has thrown a multi-million pound package into the research of phytonutrients because they believe that is the way that people are going to get healthy. And to be fair, the UK government ought to be doing very much the same.